Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA Series here from Kentucky Speedway on a race number 2 of the chase here tonight. We've got just a few minutes left here in practice. We got about 5 minutes left here in practice. We see John Smith on the racetrack, currently second quickest on the speed charts. Kenneth Byers, currently your fastest driver here in practice. Jamie Horn, Jackson Sibley back in the 4th spot, and Mike Leftwich round out your top 5 currently on the speed charts. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, over on Twitch, or you're watching after the fact. We do appreciate you tuning in and joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Just 2 more races remain here in the Trackside NASCAR Outlet ARCA Series, brought to you by the Doghouse Racing League. Crowning a champion next week at Homestead, but we got some business to do here before we get to Homestead. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight. And Hunter Simpson, currently your points leader, but by only 11 points over second place, Brandon Trush. Brandon Trush wasn't really near the top of the leaderboard all season long, but since this chase took on these a couple races, he's really started stepping up after last week at Talladega. You've got Jonathan Smith back in 3rd. Ray Rittenor, who's your points leader most of the season, he's back in the 4th spot, 18 points behind first place. Mike Leftwich back in 5th. Jess McMahon back in the 6th spot after a tough break last week at Talladega. 7th is Steven Bonomo. You find Ken Byers, Jackson Sibley, and Christopher Leftwich, your top 10 currently in the standings, coming in to the point of the chase. So just a few more minutes here in practice. Kentucky Speedway, very unique racetrack. It's that cookie cutter shape that we all know and love. Tracks like Las Vegas, Chicagoland, Kansas Speedway, very, very similar in shape, but this track has its own character. See that bit of grip down there at the bottom of the racetrack, that new pavement? This track was recently paved before it was rescanned, so fresh asphalt for these drivers. Really going to lend different lines that you can run around here. You'll see some drivers right down on that yellow line, some drivers right up against that wall, some drivers right in the middle. So watch for that here tonight, as we'll see drivers all over the racetrack as the race goes on. You see Mike Leftwich kind of run that higher lane there off of turn number 4 and down across the stripe, getting his practice in here before we go racing from Kentucky Speedway. And we can bring up the race info here so you can see exactly what this racetrack looks like. Very sharp D-shaped track, just under 1.5 miles in length. You see that track temperature down there, 76 degrees, and it will fall as the sun goes down. 71 degrees is the air temperature. A little bit of humidity in the air, partly cloudy. As the sun goes down, the track will cool off and speeds will increase here at Kentucky Speedway. So 2.5 minutes, or about 2 minutes left here in practice, and then after tonight we move on to our season finale at Homestead Miami Speedway, one of my favorite tracks to watch a race and run. So it will be a great one here as we see Jackson Sibley just making his way off pit road. Who else we got out here? We got Justin McMahon back, 15th quickest in that Group 6 Mustang. But he is nowhere near down and out. We'll watch for him tonight, see if he can rebound here and have himself a good night and get himself in his position where he can race for a championship next week. And just about a minute and a half here in practice. We want to thank everybody for joining us. I also want to thank our great partners here that make this possible, including Trackside NASCAR Outlet, which is an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, O'Reilly's truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, our great partner over at the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, don't forget to check out our website as well. If you're a small-time race team looking for some swag, get a quote today over at intensityracing.com. And with under 30 seconds here in practice, we're about to get qualifying underway. 88 laps will be the distance here. Stage at lap 44. Of course, you know the deal. If they do not get if they get 2 cautions before the stage, then the stage break will not happen. There will be no caution thrown. However, if they do not have 2 cautions before the stage, then we will indeed have ourselves a nice stage break where everyone come down pit road, reset, and get going as checker flag is out here. And we're going to get ourselves ready for 5 minutes of qualifying. We'll see who our first drivers are to make their way out onto the racetrack. Usually it's pretty safe to say that Mike Leftwich will be one of the first drivers out on the racetrack. We see Christopher Simon as well make his way off of pit road. Jamie Horn, another driver, just making their way off of pit road. There's Mark Dumont coming off pit road as well. Richard Leclerc making his way out onto the racetrack. See Christopher Simon right up against that outside wall for his first, coming off of turn number 4 to get his qualifying attempt underway. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Right up against that outside wall, coming off a turn at number 4. Making his way to the stripe on his first of 2 laps. This time right down against that yellow line coming through turns 1 and 2. Jamie Horn has gone up to the top of the leaderboard. Chris Leftwich and Mike Leftwich back in 2nd and 3rd as we see Christopher Simon making his way down into turn number 3. Off the corner and down to the stripe. And Simon is going to go up into the top spot. We'll see where Jamie Horn comes across the stripe here, and he will bump Christopher Simon down 1 spot. Chris Leftwich back in the 4th spot as Mike Leftwich just jumped up into the 3rd spot. Here's the 23 of Brandon Trush coming off of turn number 4. And down across the stripe. And Trush is going to move up into the 4th position as Mark Dumont goes 3rd. And Justin McMahon just jumped up into the 6th spot on his first lap. McMahon down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Down across the stripe, and Justin McMahon will jump up into the 4th position as Hunter Simpson has gone to the top of the leaderboard. Here's the 33 of Kevin Brown making his way down the backstretch. And down across the stripe, Kevin Brown jumps up into the 7th position. Here's the 87 of Ray Rittenor coming across the stripe on his first of 2 laps. His first lap puts him back in the 15th position. He's going to have to really step it up here if he wants to put himself up towards the front. Down into turn number 3. And across the stripe, and Ray Rittenor is going to move up into the 13th position. It looks like that's going to be all for the ones who are qualifying here tonight. We still got about 50 seconds, but don't think anybody's going to make their way out on the racetrack. They don't have enough time, though, for 1 lap. So that is going to do it here for qualifying as we get things all set up on our end. And again, we want to thank our great partners that make this possible, including our series sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, which is an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, O'Reilly's, trucks, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, also our great partner and the Doghouse Racing League's great partner over at Butt Kicker, which is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products if yours is right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. Don't forget to check out the Doghouse Racing League's website as well, over at doghouseracingle.com for stats, standings, news, scheduling, and more. Link down below in the description, along with a link to our website if you're a small-time race team looking for some swag. Get a quote today over at intensityracing.com. We also got Ali Atman Weiss's racing gear over there as well. We've got some novelty t-shirts and whatnot over there, so check it all out over at the link in the description. So here's our starting lineup here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. Hunter Simpson going to roll off from the pole here tonight with Ken Byers in the 2nd spot. Jamie Horn qualifies in the 3rd position with Justin Command back in position number 4. John Smith and Jackson Sibley will make up row number 3 with Christopher Simon and Jason Ross in the 4th row. Kevin Brown will roll off from the 9th position with Mark Dumont rounding out your top 10. Then Brandon Trush in the 23 and Mike Leftwich starting from 12th. Ray Rittenor and Richard Leclerc will make up row number 7. Excuse me, had a little brain toot there for a second. With Chris Leftwich and Michael Dow making up row 8. Back in row 9, we'll find the 88 of Josh Cully. And Adam Gardner, rounding out the field tonight, will be the 4 of Bill Gentry. All the cars sitting on pit road, getting ready for the pace car to roll off. Getting ready for 88 laps here from Kentucky Speedway. Just one race after this remains in the chase to crown a champion. See if Hunter Simpson takes the inside or outside on the start. We know the high side can be very good here at Kentucky. Right now, though, looks like he is sticking to that inside lane as the field makes their way off of pit road and onto the racetrack. And filing in behind the iRacing sedan pace car here at Kentucky. Again, 88 laps will be the distance. Stage at lap 44. If we have no cautions before then, we'll throw a caution on 44. If we have 2 or more cautions before lap 44, then we will continue green all the way. So here the field comes off of turn number 4. Pace car, get ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. See, good luck 81 Christopher Simon. Make a great race in the chat as they make their way off of turn number 4 down to the starting zone. Hunter Simpson going to have the field under control as they come to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing here at Kentucky Speedway. Great jump for Hunter Simpson down into turn number 1. He's got Kenneth Byers in that 99. I'm sorry, that's the 98 of Jamie Horn right there on his back bumper as they make their way off of turn number 1 for the first time. And I mentioned this track was just recently paved, but it still has quite a bit of character. You'll see these cars bouncing as they make their way down the backstretch. There is a pretty decent bump in turn number 3 you have to watch for as well. As Justin McMahon looks around the outside of John Smith, trying to make some moves early. Jackson Sibley looks like he got a little tight there in the middle. Had to check up. That allowed Christopher Simon to get to the outside of the 18. As they were just 3 wide for a moment off of turn number 4. And now they're 3 wide again as Brandon Trush thought about making a move down underneath John Smith. John Smith shuts the door on the 23 machine as John Smith going to get around the 24 of Justin McMahon. And Jackson Sibley down on the inside now. Finally able to get around Christopher Simon. A little further back, there's some great racing in the back, side by side. See Bill Gentry and Richard Leclerc door to door. So they come across the stripe. This is for the 16th position. And meanwhile up front, Hunter Simpson under attack. He's got the 98 and the 99 right there. Sorry, that's the 48 and 99 right there on the back bumper. As Jamie Horn tried to make a look down underneath Hunter Simpson, wasn't quite able to make that move. Meanwhile, one move that is being made, that is Christopher Simon diving down underneath the 24 of Justin McMahon. Simon going to take that spot away, move himself up into the 5th position. Fastest lap of the race was just set by the 87 of Ray Rittenauer back in the 14th position. As he's now looking down underneath the 14 of Mark Dumont. He's got Josh Cully in the 88 right behind. Meanwhile, Christopher Simon has a mirror full of Justin McMahon as they come off of turn number 2. Back up front, Hunter Simpson continues the lead over Jamie Horn, Ken Byers, and John Smith making his way up into this mix as well as Jamie Horn continues to try to look underneath Hunter Simpson. He'll get the nose down there as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Hunter Simpson, though, fighting back up hard on the high side as they come off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. And Hunter Simpson has got to hold on to that lead for now. But Jamie Horn not making it easy for him as Jackson Sibley goes way up the racetrack. Brandon Trush is able to get around. Sibley's lost 3 spots from where he started. Oh, it was 1 car, bounces off the wall. That was the 00 of Jason Ross, just barely clipping the outside wall. That's going to allow Trush to get a good run here. Take a look down underneath that 00. Meanwhile, back up front, Jamie Horn trying to get back around that 5, this time on the high side. But not quite close enough to make that happen. Christopher Simon right now, right there on the back bumper of John Smith. Looks up to the high side, and Just McMahon was able to tuck down underneath that 81 machine. As they battle door to door, side by side, off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And Simon able to hold on to that spot for now. Meanwhile, Jamie Horn now under attack by the 99 of Ken Byers. Byers looking up on the high side as they come off of turn number 2. Look at this gaggle of cars. John Smith trying to push Jamie Horn by that 99. There's hard racing all through the front of this pack. As you see the 23 of Trush trying to look down underneath the 00 of Jason Ross. This great battle continues. John Smith now moves himself up into the 3rd position around Jamie Horn. And John Smith looking like he's going to want more here, because he's got the 99 of Ken Byers right on the front nose. Now Ken Byers trying to make a move down to the inside of Hunter Simpson. He's going to try to take the lead away, but Simpson's going to deny him off of turn at number 4. A little run here for Justin McMahon. Taking a look up to the high side of John Smith. McMahon, though, not able to make that move, as now we got Ken Byers taking another look down to the inside of Hunter Simpson. They make their way off of turn at number 4. Christopher Simon way up the track, up on that high side, trying to keep that momentum going. So he's looking to the outside of Brandon Trush. Now Jackson Sibley able to get down underneath that 81. Move Sibley up into the 8th position. As Jamie Horn now finds himself back in the top 3. He's looking to the outside of Jonathan Smith as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Ooh, 3 wide racing. Ken Byers stuck in the middle now. He's got Justin McMahon right there on the back bumper. Here comes Jason Ross trying to make something happen as well. A little bump there from Ross on McMahon as they go down into turn number 1. Ooh, Byers bounces off the wall right in front of John Smith. That's going to give Smith a little run here down into turn number 3. He had to back out of it, though. That's going to allow Trush to get a run down underneath as he's looking down underneath Justin McMahon at the moment. The runs are all over the racetrack so quickly I can't keep up with it all. So every time I look, there's another driver making his way up towards the front. And as I say that, Mike Leftwich now working around the outside. He's trying to crack himself up into the top 10. He's got Jackson Sibley right in front, who is the 10th place driver. How about Kevin Brown now looking up to the high side of Christopher Simon, trying to make something happen up there. And as I say that, Christopher Simon dove down to the bottom for a second, had to cut back up in line. Thought about making it 3 wide for a moment, wasn't quite able to make that happen. As Jackson Sibley looks to the outside of Christopher Simon. Kevin Brown back to the outside, trying to get around Jason Ross to put himself up into the 7th position. He will clear Ross, so move him up 2 spots in the 7th, right in front Brandon Trush in that 23, up 5 spots, cracked up into the 6th position, and he wants to continue his move forward. Jackson Sibley made a big move down to the inside of Jason Ross. They make their way off of turn number 4. A little side draft there from Sibley and Ross. Rest of the field pretty much single file, although, oh, we got Sibley around. Mike Leftwich up in the air. Chris Leftwich involved as well. That's going to bring out our first wreckage rewind of the night. And it looked like it started with Jackson Sibley. We see Sibley to the inside of Jason Ross. And Sibley thought he was clear. He's going to move up the racetrack. He's going to go hard nose first into the outside wall. Christopher Simon able to avoid it. Mike Leftwich was not. He gets up and over, airborne. And on top of the 00, here comes Josh Cully. Looks like Cully might have got through it, but Chris Leftwich, and I'm not sure who else that was there, that drove through it as well. Looks like it was Mark Dumont who yeah, he just did not get checked up in time. Drives underneath the 8 of Mike Leftwich, and heavy damage for that 8 machine, as well as Jackson Sibley. And then while we're under caution, oh, Mike Leftwich not having any steering. Chris Leftwich trying to help him get turned here, but saw the off tracks here, trying to figure out what happened to these drivers. So everybody's still on pit road. Everybody coming off pit road is Jamie Horn, going to be the first driver off pit road. Just McMahon second. Brandon Trush, Hunter Simpson, and John Smith round out your top 5. Kenneth Byers, Kevin Brown, Christopher Simon, Josh Cully, and Mark Dumont, your top 10 off of pit road. So again, you're not going to want to miss the action next week from Homestead Miami Speedway as the Doghouse Racing League have their season finale to crown a champion here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, don't forget to join us tomorrow night on Intensity Broadcasting as the SCSRA Dev Sports Cards Cup Series takes on Talladega Super Speedway in their second race of the playoffs. So a lot of seasons coming to an end here. But first we've got to settle this one here tonight. as Jamie Horn's going to take the inside here, putting Justin McMahon up on the high side. Brandon Trush, Hunter Simpson back in row number 2. John Smith, Ken Byers in row 3. Row 4, we'll find Kevin Brown and Christopher Simon, with Josh Cully and Mark Dumont rounding out your top 10. We see a few drivers still on pit road, both left witches, Jason Ross, as well as Jackson Sibley. Did hear on the driver chat that it sounds like the Ross machine did come off the wall a little bit to catch Sibley. So here we go. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. And Jamie Horn going to lead them back down to the Geico restart zone, where the green flag will fly. We're back racing here at Kentucky. Big jump for Jamie Horn as he goes down into turn number 1. Justin McMahon up on that high side, battling with John Smith down the backstretch. There's Ken Byers jumping up into the top side behind Hunter Simpson. And the caution is out again. It looks like it's for the 4 of Bill Gentry. That's going to bring up our second Wreckage Rewind of the night. All right, we got this one. It actually starts a little in front of Gentry here. We see Adam Gardner and Ray Ritnor. And I think Gardner said that his throttle was hanging. That caused him to get up into the 87 of Ritnor. He was able to straighten it out, but yeah, this 117 runs in the back of Bill Gentry, and Gentry goes for the spin. Fortunately, not a lot of damage to these cars, so they'll be able to continue on without issue. Bunch of drivers, though, making their way down pit road. Just McMahon's going to pit here, trying to get some fuel. Now, we will not have a stage caution due to having 2 cautions before the stage. So we see Ken Byers on pit road. We see Just McMahon. Looks like Ray Ritnor just coming off pit road here as well. I believe that's Josh Cully. Yep, Josh Cully coming off pit road. So as the field makes their way down the backstretch, we should see the lights on the pace car go off here next time by, and we'll see 1 to go from Kentucky Speedway. I believe looks like Jamie Horn might take the high side here on this restart. Yeah, looks like Horn's going to choose the high side, putting Brandon Trush down on the low side. Row 2 will find Hunter Simpson and John Smith, Kevin Brown, Christopher Simon in row number 3. Mark Dumont and Kenneth Byers in row 4. And Justin McMahon and Ray Rittenau are back in row number 5. As the field makes their way off of turn at number 2, see a couple drivers coming off pit road, including Adam Gardner. Looks like Josh Cully just came off of pit road as well. Pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Jamie Horn leads him back down to the Geico restart zone, where the green flag will fly, and we are back racing here at Kentucky Speedway. Great jump again for Jamie Horn as Brandon Trush now files in the second position. John Smith working up to the high side of Hunter Simpson as they make their way off of turn number 2 and into turn number 3. Simpson now going to have to fall back into that 4th position as Kevin Brown got a little loose there. Trying to defend on Christopher Simon. Simon, though, takes a look down to the inside. And Christopher Simon trying to move himself up into the top 5. Meanwhile, up front, John Smith, Hunter Simpson side by side. It's a battle for the 3rd position. And Smith able to take over that 3rd spot. As Hunter Simpson now has Kevin Brown on the back bumper as Christopher Simon continues to use that high lane to try to march his way forward. Brandon Trush in the 2nd position. He's got John Smith right there on the back bumper. As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark here. Again, stage points will be handed out, but we will not have a stage caution, as we had 2 cautions before the stage break. Ooh, and Jamie Horn just barely brushes the wall there as they're coming up on the lap car of Jackson Sibley. He got heavy damage in that first incident. Looks like he'll be able to stay out of the way, though, as the field makes their way and fans out down into turn number 3. And we're starting to see all those different lines that the drivers are driving. Get a nice and single file on the straightaways. Once they make their way into the corner, they are fanned out. Well, that time they're not so fanned out. Everybody kind of running the bottom lane here as they come up on the lap car of Jackson Sibley. We'll see if they fan out a little more here for turns 3 and 4. Yeah, there they go, starting to fan out. Ooh, a little contact there between, that looked like Ken Byers in the 14 of Dumont. As we got 3 wide, Justin McMahon looking to the inside of Dumont and Christopher Simon all at once. He's going to get 2 spots here as he makes his way up into the 7th position. Ken Byers taking a look down underneath Kevin Brown right in front of Justin McMahon. as they try to get something rolling here in these final laps of the stage. Jamie Horn still up front, but Brandon Trush right there on the back bumper. And Jackson Sibley out in front, actually holding his own pretty well. I figured he would have been lapped by now, but he's doing a good job right now staying out in front of the leaders. As Jamie Horn continues to lead here to come across the stripe here. For 50 to go. Field now starting to get a little bit more single file. Looks like they're trying to save their tires and a little bit of fuel here. And this is about the time of the race where the tires are starting to go away a little bit. As Hunter Simpson now going to take a look to the outside of Brandon Trush. Trush going to fall back into that third spot. He's got Ken Byers and John Smith racing side by side right behind him as Byers goes way down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to avoid that side draft. So up off the corner, Kevin Brown and the 99 of Ken Byers continue battling door to door. Up front, Jamie Horn continues to lead. Again, Jamie Horn not running for points here. He is just running here for the experience and the trophy hunting. So it's really not taking anything away except for some stage points here and there. And some finishing points here from some of these drivers. Justin McMahon, though, however, is running for points, and he's trying to use that high lane, or was just trying to use that high lane to get around John Smith. It's not working. So he's going to have to tuck back in line, try to get it going again. We've got a gaggle of cars right behind. Mr. Simon trying to use that high lane here to get around Ray Rittenor. Rittenor not having that great of a run here. He, like I said, he was our points leader most of the season. But these last few races, we've seen him have some struggles. We're seeing that again here tonight as he runs back in the 11th position. Brandon Trush continues to fall back as Jess McMahon going to take a look down to the inside as they come down into turn number 3. Josh going to have a little bit of momentum there up on that high side. So McMahon not able to make a move around the 23 of Trush. And unfortunately, this is just a part of this product on these tracks. The middle of the race kind of just gets a little stagnant until the tires really wear off. You can see the drivers who really run their stuff off here in the going of the race. Right now, all the cars pretty even. However, in the next, I would say 10 to 15 laps, we're going to start seeing these cars really start slip sliding around, and then we'll have pit stops still to make here as well. I expect pit stops somewhere around lap 60. I would say 60 to 65 would be where we start to see drivers come down pit road. They were last on pit road on laps between 23 and 28, so I believe these drivers should be able to make about 40 laps on a tank of fuel. As this battle continues here, as Just McMahon taking another run at it to the inside of Trush, and he will take over that third position. So Justin McMahon now up on the podium. He's trying to chase down Hunter Simpson and Jamie Horn. See, Jackson Sibley has been caught, has been passed. He currently finds himself in the middle of the pack. And he is the only driver on the racetrack laps down. He is currently 7 laps down. Richard Leclerc, Mike Leftwich, Jason Ross, and Chris Leftwich all on pit road, trying to get damage fixed. Meanwhile, back up front, Brandon Trush has a little more pressure from behind in the form of the 10 of John Smith. Trush going to take a look down underneath McMahon as they come through turns 3 and 4. But McMahon's going to be able to use that high side advantage to get the run off the corner and hold on to that third position. Now here comes Kevin Brown trying to look through the high side here as Trush has the 10 of John Smith to the inside. He's going to hold on to that spot for now. Christopher Simon's in this mix here as well. Trying to work the high side here, trying to get up along this mix. That's about a 1.5 seconds back to Ken Byers, who runs back in the 8th position. He is losing this group in front of him. Got Josh Cully, Ray Ritnor, and Mark Dumont behind. Our top 7 cars is still nose to tail. Well, Jamie Horn has about a half a second lead over Hunter Simpson, who has a 1 second lead over Justin McMahon. And then everybody else behind pretty much nose to tail as they spread out here down the front stretch. We are quickly coming to 30 laps to go. And pit stops starting to be made here a little earlier than I thought they were going to be. Here comes Jamie Horn down pit road. Josh Cully also coming down pit road. Mark Dumont on pit road. So drivers just making their way down. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for these drivers. As looks like Josh Cully. He did take 4 tires. Everybody took 4 tires and fuel. Ray Rittenor coming down pit road here. Coming to his stall. Hunter Simpson, Christopher Simon, Kevin Brown, Brandon Trush all in together as well. I'll try to see if anybody's going to gamble here. Maybe take 2 tires, but it looks like everybody opting for 4 as Justin McMahon gives up the lead to come down pit road. That's going to give the lead of the race to Adam Gardner. Ken Byers also down on pit road. Michael Dow coming down pit road this time. Brandon Trush able to get off of pit road ahead of Christopher Simon. Is Adam Gardner now going to come down pit road this time, give up the lead? And Bill Gentry also going to come down pit road this time. And that'll cycle pit stops around with 29 laps to go. Jamie Horn now out in front of Justin McMahon by just over 2 seconds as here comes Hunter Simpson by. McMahon's going to cycle back, it looks like into 4th here on this cycle of pit stops. So Jamie Horn out in front of Hunter Simpson by over 2 seconds. Then Hunter Simpson's got John Smith in tow, about a half second back. Then you got to go back another 1.5 seconds to find Justin McMahon. He's got Brandon Trush, Josh Cully, and Christopher Simon in tow. And it looks like this group here is trying to use a little bit of little drafting. Little slipstream. Try to march themselves forward as we see Josh Cully now diving down underneath Brandon Trush. Now Trush going to take a look down underneath McMahon. He's going to try to take that position away. Try to get those points where he can. Going into next race, trying to get as many points as they can. Try to run for a championship from Homestead Miami Speedway. And what these drivers back here are hoping for is a caution to get themselves caught up. Hunter Simpson's got some company, though, right behind. John Smith has caught the 5 machine of Hunter Simpson with 25 laps to go. John Smith looking up a little bit higher here, trying to get a little nose on the air. Or trying to get a little air on the nose, excuse me. Try to get that car to turn just a little bit better. Now, it's a little further back. We see a battle here with Ray Rittenor and Kevin Brown. It's a battle for 9th and 10th. And Brown is going to take that position away. See Justin McMahon right there on the back bumper of Brandon Trush. Trying to make something happen, trying to take that position back away after Trush took it away from him. Hunter Simpson, again, a mirror full of John Smith. Smith keeps getting right to that back bumper, and then he has to fade away just a little bit. I don't know if the car's just not handling like he wants it to, right tucked up behind that Hunter Simpson machine. But this battle for second is heating up quite a bit. In the closing laps of the race, we have just 20 laps to go here from Kentucky Speedway. Back to this great battle here as we see McMahon continuing to try to find his way around Brandon Trush. He's going to look up to the high side going into turn number 3. Down off the corner, and McMahon almost able to clear Trush going down into turn number 1. McMahon finally able to clear Trush. Here comes Christopher Simon looking for a way around Trush as well. With 17 laps to go, and every point mattering here in the final closing laps and the final 2 races of the season. Everybody's fighting what they can here. Jamie Horn coming down through turns 3 and 4. He is coming to take 15 laps to go. He's got a 1.3 second lead over Hunter Simpson, but they are slowly eating into that lead. It's him and John Smith. Maybe using a little bit of draft here to start catching up to Jamie Horn. Now Josh Cully trying to get around the 23 of Brandon Trush. So Trush, who was having such a great day, drove himself up at one point up into second place. Last few laps, he's been on quite a bit of a slide. How about Josh Cully, too? Josh Cully up into the 7th position. Started 17th. He is up 10 spots from where he started having a great run. Christopher Simon all over the back bumper. I'm sorry, he's got Trush all over the back bumper. Looks like Trush is going to be able to clear that 81 off of turn number 4. Here comes Simon rocketing back on that high side. A fantastic battle here for the 5th and 6th position. Simon again up to the high side. Trying to take that position away. Trush though battling back on the inside. You see Cully just kind of sitting there, waiting to see what happens, waiting for one of these drivers to slip up and make his move. As he was trying to get underneath Simon, but Simon now going to try to cross Trush back over and take the inside line away down the front stretch and into turn at number 1. When we cross the stripe next time, we'll have just 10 laps to go here from Kentucky. And Jamie Horn's lead continues to shrink. It is now down to 1.1 over Hunter Simpson. Don't think there's going to be enough time for Hunter Simpson to run Jamie Horn down. However, with a caution, we know he's a little bit quicker here. So if the caution was to come out and we were going to have ourselves a quick race to the end, I believe Jamie Horn would be in a bit of trouble. All that racing has allowed Justin McMahon to pull himself up into 4th position. And he is quickly gaining on the 10 of John Smith, who runs back in the 4th spot. I'm sorry, in the 3rd spot. But with 9 laps to go, don't think that there's going to be enough time for John Smith to have to worry about Justin McMahon here. Now we got 8 laps to go. Although the gap from Jamie Horn back to Hunter Simpson is now 1.1. It looks like he's going to be clear sailing, no lap cars in front of Jamie Horn here. He comes across the stripe. We'll go to 7 laps to go. And now as we look from the iRacing blimp here, everybody kind of spreading out here. Really no big battles out on the racetrack at the moment. And we've got 6 laps to go. Christopher Simon now right back on the back bumper of Brandon Trush, trying to take that 5th position back away. As the field comes down the front stretch, it takes 5 laps to go. Can Simon get back around Brandon Trush in the next 5 laps? Or is Trush going to hold on to that 5th place finish, get himself some good points going into Homestead, Miami? Here comes Simon with a dive down to the inside. Trush, though, closes the door here, going through turns 3 and 4. as they come down across the stripe. Just 4 laps to go here. Simon back down to the inside. He's at the quarter panel. Now they're door to door into turn at number 3. Has those left tires there through the little bit of grip down there as they come down to the stripe. Trush going to stay just out in front of Simon. They come across the stripe. Meanwhile, another battle about to heat up, and that's between Justin McMahon and Jonathan Smith. McMahon has run down the 10 of John Smith. Can he do anything with him with 2 laps to go? We're right there on the back bumper off of turn at number 2. Jamie Horn coming off of turn at number 4. He's going to see the white flag here one more time around from Kentucky Speedway. John Smith has got one more lap to make something happen here. He's going to take a look down to the inside, down into turn at number 1. Washes up the track, almost makes some contact with John Smith. They're going to be door to door off of turn at number 2. As they continue this race into turn 3, McMahon's got the position down on the inside. He drives it in hard off of the corner. John Smith gonna hold off the 24 of Justin McMahon as Jamie Horn gets the win. John Smith just barely able to hold off. And Hunter Simpson gonna bring it home in the 3rd position. Here's how close it was coming to the line. McMahon tried giving it everything he could, but John Smith just a little bit too strong there at the end. As Jamie Horn's going to come down to the front stretch here, where he's going to celebrate his win. Hunter Simpson going to join into the celebrations as well. There's John Smith coming through. Our top 3 look like they're going to park it here on the front stretch. And we will look at our final results. We just heard Jamie Horn is officially out of fuel. So Hunter Simpson's doing the burnouts for him. Jamie Horn got the win here. Hunter Simpson comes home in P2. John Smith back in 3rd. Just McMahon comes home in 4th. And Brandon Trush in the 5th position. Christopher Simon brings it home in 6th. Josh Cully from 7th. Ken Byers, Kevin Browns, and Adam Gardner round out your top 10. Ray Rittenor comes home in 11th. Mark Dumont in 12th. Michael Dow from the 13th position. Bill Gentry back in 4th. Jackson Sibley, Richard Leclerc, Jason Ross, Chris Leftwich round out your 18. And rounding out the field here tonight is Mike Leftwich in the 8 machine. Well, let's get ready to talk to our top 3. As soon as they make their way down to the waiting room. Yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. And Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Can't forget about our great partners over at Trackside NASCAR Outlet, which is your authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, O'Reilly's truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full-size mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store. Follow them on Facebook or visit them at www.tracksideNASCAROutlet.com. Can't forget about Butt Kicker as well. It's a great partner of the Doghouse Racing League and Intensity Broadcasting. Their award-winning line of butt kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers. Check out the full line of butt kicker products and figures right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. Let's bring in our third-place finisher here tonight, driver of the Ted Machine. That is John Smith. John, you got Josh up to me. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. Had a little battle there with Justin McMahon at the end. Looks like you might have almost lost it for a second, but you're able to hold on to that podium spot. Talk about your race, especially those closing laps.
Yeah, I just burned it up way too much, and was, I don't know, scared, timid. I don't know what the deal was mentally to push it on exit here. I guess I didn't realize how wide of an exit these corners are here, especially coming out of turn 4. Didn't really hit me till later. I could push it a lot more. I think my tires are like 63 on the right front, like 92 on the right rear. Come to that pit stop, but yeah, Justin gave me all I could handle there. I really thought he had me. I don't like to block like that, especially guys like Justin who race me clean, but race for points. So I was trying to do everything I could to hold him off, but I was sweating there.
Yeah, speaking of points, coming to the final race next week at Homestead, trying to get every point we can here tonight. Talk us through your next race. What's going to be your strategy going into Homestead, trying to get yourself the championship this year?
I like Homestead a lot. I think track position, I think I got to focus more on, and I should have focused more on stages throughout this race and last race, but that's going to come back to bite me, I think. But yeah, just kind of get some track position, trying to save a little bit of tire and see where the race goes. I like Homestead a lot, but I know the guys around me in points also love Homestead, so it's going to be a fun one.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Good luck next week at Homestead, Miami. And, of course, before we let you go, John, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Nat Daddy Racing and then Engine 4 Coffee Company and Spotter, Hunter Folly up there, kind of guided me through those blocks there at the end. All the racers that's in the league. It's been very clean, a lot of fun racing, the admin for putting this on, and thanks for the broadcast that you put on.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate everything, and again, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight. Good luck next week at Homestead, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, John Smith. I also see Hunter Folly says, congratulations, top 3. Let's go, John Smith. Interviews 2 weeks in a row. Great battle at the end. So here we go. Let's bring in our second place finisher, Hunter Simpson. Hunter, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
Man, great run for you. You were starting to run Jamie Horn down there at the end. Come to find out at the end, he was a little bit short on fuel. That's why he was having to back it up a little bit. Did you think you had a chance you were going to catch him there towards the end?
I don't know. I mean, he's my teammate, so I wanted him to make it. But as a competitor, you know, that 1 point would have helped me. But, I mean, if he was going to run out, then I was going to try and be as close as I could. But he pitted 1 lap sooner than I did. So, you know, I just was trying to get as close as I could and try and get as many points as I could to try and keep a points lead.
Well, we know you know he's your teammate, and you hate to wish ill luck on him. But coming to the end there, it was a very, very clean end of the race. We saw 2 quick cautions. Did you kind of think that something was kind of brewing in the back there, or did you know it was going to run pretty clean, or were you banking on it running clean there to the end?
I was hoping it would run it clean because the guys was joking around saying that they was hoping for a caution. I'm like, no, I don't hope for a caution because cautions breed cautions. If that caution would have come out with 2 laps to go, all it takes is me being wrecked, and then that's it. You know, so I was like, I'll take second. You know, good points. You know, you always wish for more, but you know, congratulations to Jamie. He ran a really good race, and I was only as close as I was with Jamie there because he was having a safe fuel. But like, you know, in practice we've been very equal, and so it was kind of just whoever was going to be in the lead at the end of the night was going to get it done. So he was able to jump me on one of them pit stops, and I didn't think about that at all. I was just kind of focused on 4 tires, and by the time I got back up to second, the tires kind of evened off, and you know, it was a fun race though. I certainly wasn't hoping for a caution.
Well, next week we move on over to Homestead, Miami. How do you like your chances there?
We'll practice and we'll see what we can do. You know, I like Homestead. It's a really fun track. It should be the NASCAR finale every year, which it is now. But you know, it's kind of the end of the season type of vibe, and you know that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to finish this off and see how we do.
Well, good luck next week. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again in the championship interview. But before we let you go, anyone you want to thank here? Anyone you want to shout out?
I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to thank Daniel and all the league admins for setting this up. I want to thank you guys for the broadcast. I want to thank all my teammates. You know, all my personal sponsors. Suicide awareness. You know, once again, you're never alone. Call 988, and you can just talk to anybody. I mean, that's all it takes is just talking to one person, and that could save you. You know, Nap Daddy Designs, SSR Designs, Butt Kicker, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, Group 6, just my whole family, you know, my girlfriend Emily, her whole family. I'm probably forgetting somebody. Adam Looney Foundation, True Patriot Designs, you know, just everybody, you know, my whole family. I miss them, and we're gonna see if we can get this championship done. And you know, the aliens have landed.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the runner-up here tonight. Good luck next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. I hope to see you then. You have a blessed night.
You as well. As your second place finisher, Hunter Simpson, let's bring in your winner here tonight. Jamie Horn out here doing some trophy hunting, coming home with the trophy. Man, what a run for you here tonight. But I was wondering, I was going to ask you what caused you to slow down there at the end, but then when I heard you weren't able to do burnouts because you had no fuel, it made all the sense in the world. Talk us through that last run, that strategy, and being that close on fuel had to be worrying you.
Yeah, especially with Hunter back there and Jonathan. They were both coming quick, and I was trying to maintain at least a 1 second gap between us, but it was hard. Hunter was able to go one more lap before he had to pit that last time, so he was better than I was, and I knew it was going to be tight. And at one point I wasn't good, then I got it good. I let him kind of catch up to me, and like I said, I was just trying to maintain that 1 second gap because the draft is so strong in these cars. Once Hunter would have got it, we would have been a battle. And if we had to start battling, I'm really not sure if I'd have had enough fuel to make it coming into turn 3 on the last lap. I was down to 4/10, and I was like, I think I can make it.
Well, I know in the back of your mind, as a leader, especially with fuel like that, you're probably hoping or you're probably thinking, man, what's going to happen here? When's the caution going to come out to wreck my race? But fortunately, that didn't happen for you. You were able to come home with the win here tonight. Next week, we move on to Homestead, Miami. How do you like your chances there?
It's probably one of my 10 least favorite tracks, so we'll see. I do okay there in the next gen car, but some reason in these cars, I just don't have it figured out. So we'll put in some practice between now and then and see. I know there's going to be a tight points battle, so if I'm up at the front, I'll not try to take the win if I can, but try to stay out of their way and be respectful and let them three battle it out, and the best one win.
Absolutely, man. Well, it's been a tight points battle all season long. It's been a great one to watch. Of course, before I let you go, Jamie, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you as always on the broadcast. Shout out to my teammate Hunter on a good run and maintaining the points lead. Hopefully next week he can pull it off and get his championship. Good job to Jonathan Smith. Really everybody out there. Tough track. We didn't have many cautions, so it was a good race. Gotta say, Brandon did not live up to his end of the bargain. He'll know what that means whenever he watches the broadcast back. So I do not get my $50, but shout out to everybody in the league. Like I said, all our sponsors: Trackside NASCAR Outlet, Shoney's, Butt Kicker, SSR Designs, Nap Daddy, everybody that helps pay the bills. And shout out to my mom at home watching. Look forward to next week.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck next week. Hopefully we talk to you again soon, and have yourself a great night.
Yes, sir. You too.
So that was your winner, Jamie Horn, getting it done here tonight with no fuel left in the tank here from Kentucky Speedway. That's going to do it for us here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the SCSRA Super Speedway action from Talladega Super Speedway. And then right back here next Tuesday for your season finale from Homestead Miami Speedway. Again, thanks everybody watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or Kick. We appreciate you tuning in here tonight. If you're watching after the fact, we appreciate you joining us. And don't forget that like button. It really does mean a lot for us, helps us out a lot. And yeah, don't forget, race season starting up soon. Ali Atman Ruiz's gear is getting put into the shop soon, so check out IntensityRacing.com. And speaking of Ali Atman Ruiz, as he would say,